I'm hellorodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. This is a bunch of scrap. That's a bunch of scrap that's been washed. And this is some of the stuff that comes out of that scrap. So these are the pieces that I'm doing now. And here's that's some of the stuff that comes out. Small cabs and some smallish pendants. But I want to do a video and I want some response back. And if you don't respond to this video with a comment, I'm going to cry. Now, what I want to do is ask you something, because today it cost me, I think, $700 to get my name 1000works.com renewed for another year. Now, that site, 1000 Works, I got because I like to work in series. Now, this piece right here, see how wide it is. So it's about that wide. Okay. Now, this piece right here is made with puzzle pieces. We have a couple of interesting shapes right here. This sort of bowl shape, and there's another bowl down there. And I really like this piece a lot. Now, I've got these pieces here. These are pieces of board, and they're just a little bit shorter. That's about 1.5 inches difference. Okay, but I'm wondering about these pieces here. If something this size right here, it's hard to see. I'll put it up here and you can see in the window. You can see there's my head right there, so you can see the size of that. I think this is like 9.5 by 11.5 or something like that. I don't know, but you can see it's fairly large. It's a nice size for a it's a nice size. Now, what I'm thinking about is doing these puzzle pieces on these smaller pieces, okay? And then once the smaller pieces have been made and, you know, different types of paint surfaces added to them, you know, similar to what you see there, then I'd like to put a number on them. And I was thinking maybe it could be like a number, it could be a date, the name of a place, a thing, these type of things, you know. And then make 1,000 of them for my site, 1000works.com. And they'd all have the same thing in common as far as the technique. And it would be these puzzle pieces. And then maybe, well, obviously it would be about that size right there, sideways. And they would have maybe about, it's hard to use this camera to show that, but maybe about that big with the number right here. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about doing, and I'd like to have some feedback on that. And I'm thinking that maybe the best thing to do on something like that is to put them out at a really, really cheap price, okay, in the beginning, and then gradually increase the price in a systematic way. Maybe every 10 pieces it goes up, I don't know, $1 or something. I don't know, something. So that it's a gradual process. Now, there's also the way I could do it, which would be just strictly numbers. And then that would be an interesting approach. And that might be the most logical approach. Although, the thing about collections is interesting, because if there's only 1,000 pieces in the collection, then there would be collections within the collections, which would be the numbers, and then maybe a place, like the name of a city or a town, maybe done basically in this type of method right here, just where I use some black and then write the number or write the name of the town or whatever like that. using just black to put the number or the word or the name or whatever it is, and then that would make for a totally different type of collection, because instead of the collection being 1 through 1,000, it could be like, then after the collection was finished, each piece would be numbered on the back. Okay, so the person who gets it would say, oh, okay, here's the piece I got, number 101. And there's the number on the back. And maybe the person that bought 101, maybe it's the third piece. Maybe 101 is a lucky number for them. Who knows? I don't know. So it maybe be like the second piece or the first piece. And the number would be written here, which would tell the person looking at it how this particular piece fits within the collection. So the number would never be repeated, but it wouldn't be, you wouldn't have to get those things in order. So, and then if there were numbers, that would be like one collection. People would say, well, okay, well, like I like this, but I will only collect numbers. And another person will say, well, I only will collect locations. Paris, New York, Biloxi, whatever. London. It would be a very sophisticated collection, very, very sophisticated. Maybe Dusseldorf or something like that. But make the whole thing to where it's going to be an interesting thing, okay? And then it'll all go on 1000works.com, and then there could be multiple collections within the collection. But I bought that name for another year. It cost, I think it was $65 maybe, or 35. I can't remember. I don't know what it was. But anyway, I have that for another year. So I would like to go ahead and do something with it. And I really love collections. This is really more who I am, making collections. You saw the O.J. Simpson series I made. You saw the Nazi Clown series I made. I love working in series. And this would be a wonderful series. You could have like cat, because you love cats. You love your little Fluffy. Or you have dog, or you have your dog's name Fido. Whatever. Fido is Latin, I think, for trusted friend or something like that. But anyway, that's what I'm looking to think about doing. So why don't you put a comment down there. Let me know what you think of that idea, because I have got all of these boards right here that can be turned into that collection. And if I get any kind of response where people are saying, hey man, let's do it, it's a good idea, then I'm going to go ahead and buy a bunch of puzzles and start making these puzzle pieces. And then, like I say, they'll turn out very similar to this. And this is an incredibly beautiful piece, and I don't know why somebody doesn't buy it for your home, because it's really great. It's a great piece, and this is where it goes. And it's got this tissue paper. So it's been covered with tissue paper and puzzles and everything else, and this is where it goes in my house. It's got this great space that it goes right between the door and the window, and that's where it is. So, if you feel like answering that, feel like sending me a comment, please do. And we'll see if we can do something with this, because 1000works.com would be awesome. Be awesome. See you later.